So welcome back in the continuation of previous development. So what you're going to do, whenever your request will be processed, it has to be converted in the entity format. Entity is nothing but this is the actual entity which is going to be saved in the database site. So for that I have to create that entity first. So I'll go in the create one more package, that is the entity, right? And the entity I'll create one class, that is the user, something I'll give user master. Okay, and I'll mark it as a, and I the same parameter that I'm going to write over here is same as the request one, so it will be same. So now I have to make this entity, so I'll simply add some annotations, and I will one more thing I'll add private uh, int id, that will be your primary key, right? So I'll simply mark it id, and one more thing I first have to go to entity, or you can write simply. So this is not importing because we have not added the dependency of the JPA over here. So I'll simply copy one of the dependency. I have to add two dependency, right? Sorry, I have to add two dependency. First one is the JPA dependency and another one is the MySQL dependency to connect. It's a connector, right? So Spring Boot starter JPA, it should not supporting, something is mistake I may be making. JPA, let me check the dependency. So it will be data hyphen JPA. Okay, and this is same. In the same way, one more dependency that I am going to do the MySQL connector, so that will be completely different. I'll simply copy this, and this is a connector J dependency. Let me reload the maven. So to download the JPA dependency first, then MySQL connector J. Okay, so it's downloading, let's wait for some time. So it is downloaded now. I'll go in the user master and simply now try to import. It will come in Jakarta. Always remember you have to download this the Jakarta one. Okay, not the persistent one, nothing else. Spring 6 is the package has been moved in the Spring 6 in the Jakarta package. Okay, so let me remove this. Now I'll give one entity annotation, and the rest Lombok annotation you can give. And yes, one more thing, this entity is going to implement the user detail, because ultimately whenever you get the username and everything, that has to be mapped in the your own entity class from the Spring Security entity class of the user, right? Okay, so I'll simply implement the user detail and import this, yeah, security one. So this have some method written over there, so we have to implement those methods. So I'll simply select all these methods and implement this. Okay, and one more thing, we have to get the generated value, and have to pass like this value has to be generated automatically, right? We are not going to pass this ID as a request param or request object. Apart from this, whatever data we are having, it should have role also, private, and the role I'm not creating any table for that, so I'll just simply create one enum, and the enum will have all the role defined. So before that I'll create one enum, so just I'll create one package, or you can create in the entity itself, because that also a kind of entity. So simply I will create one enum and I will give this role, and I will select as a enum. Okay, and then I'll simply pass the roles that I am looking for, user and admin. Okay, and now I'll come to the user master, and simply I will import the role which is coming entity. Yeah, fine, that will be role. In that I have to, since it's a enum, so we have to give one annotation. Annotation will be enumerated because this data is coming from there only. Okay, and I have to just import this enum type and this enumerated. So this is all for the role now. Okay, so probably we are done all the things, so I have to just return password. I'll simply return the password, return email, username is email, account is account non-expired, is account non-locked, yes, true is your credential non-expired, yeah, correct, is enabled, true, right? So account is non-logged, so account is non-logged, yes, it should be true, right? Otherwise it will not allow to log in. Each credentials non-expired, yeah, true. That false is the default value, right? So we have to enable this. Is account non-expired? True, non-expired. And this is email, password, and now I'll change this authority, this role. Okay, so this will simply return the role of the enum type of data. So what will return? It will return the list of, okay, return the list of all the authorities. So simple granted authorities, nothing is a Spring security term, but it's ultimately it is the role only. So this will return as a list of object of the roles. So I don't think if anything is missing. Yeah, some annotation are missing here. So that was the Lombok I have added. So all the annotation related to Lombok I have used now. So this is my entity class that is going to be talk to database. So this is all about user master, that is entity. Now I am coming to the service class now. Okay, so now we are ready with the one more thing I have to create before writing the code over here. I have to create my repository class. So repository, the class which is responsible to connect with the DB side. Okay, so it will take your entity class, send to the database side, it will be saved, then return the response, and it will throw that response to the controller. This is the middle layer, you can say. So let me create one repository layer first. So simply I will go and I'll create one package, a repository, and add one class. It's not class, it's interface, user repository, right? I'll give one annotation, repository. Okay, and this will extend JPA repository, and it will ask you what is the entity name. So I will say user master, and it will ask you what is the primary key type. So it is int, or you can say integer. Okay, so this is done. Now it will be having one method, because somewhere if you see in the user service I have written, I have to check whether this user or name or email is already present. If someone is already registered with some email ID, so no one else can register, right? So this is to check, I have to need to write. So I'll create one method in that. So this is the method that I have created. So this is going to be extend the JPA repository we told you, and this is the method that I have created now. So what this method will do, it will simply so I have made one small correction. Earlier it was a wrong name, so I have corrected this. Okay, so this is all about our method that we are going to use. So it will return one optional user master. So I have to make change over here also, because it's showing some error. So in the next section we will write our logic here, and thus this flow will be completed. So let's move into the next section. Okay, so hope you guys are enjoying. If any concern, any question you are having in any videos, just select that videos and go in the question and answer section and write your queries. It will be answered. Okay, thank you. Let's meet in the next section.